Rich Edson is live outside the courthouse in Wilmington, Delaware. Hey, Rich.
With a heckler.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I'm surprised there actually hasn't been more of that this week, to be honest. This guy's kicked up this morning, but there's usually a lot more of this in trials like this. But jurors are supposed to be here in just a short while. They'll start deliberating with really less than an hour. Once they get here, the judge will address them very briefly, and then it is back to deliberations. They're doing so without hearing Hunter Biden testify. He decided against doing so yesterday. The jury deliberated for about an hour and 10 minutes yesterday after an afternoon of closing arguments. Prosecutors told jurors there's overwhelming evidence against Hunter Biden, accused him of using drugs, lying about it on a federal form to buy a gun, and then illegally owning and possessing that weapon for 11 days, all in October of 2018. They led off their presentation referring directly to the Biden family members in the courtroom, including the First Lady, saying people sitting in the gallery are not evidence and that nobody is above the law. Prosecutors highlighted his ex-girlfriend Zoe Kesset and sister-in-law Hallie Biden's testimony of Hunter's drug use. They recapped text messages Hunter sent Hallie in the days after buying that gun, claiming he was meeting a drug dealer and smoking crack. The prosecution also highlighted the gun salesman who testified he saw him fill out that form and check no to a question about being a drug user. Hunter's defense attorney, Abby Lowell, countered that the prosecution's case depended on a magic trick, relying on evidence of past drug abuse to prove Hunter was using drugs when he bought that gun. Now, Lowell says there are no photos of him using drugs in October 2018. There's no testimony at this trial of witnesses observing Hunter using drugs then. As for those texts the week after Hunter bought the gun, claiming he was meeting a dealer and smoking crack, Lowell says that he had lied to Hallie Biden in the past and maybe didn't want to say exactly where he was at the time, hence those text messages. Maybe he wasn't actually smoking crack. It's all in the jury's hands now. They're expected back here within the hour. Back to you guys.
So Rich, ultimately during the closing arguments yesterday, Abby Lowell was doing his best to try to inject a little reasonable doubt in there. And at one point he said Hunter Biden didn't knowingly lie. Instead, he was in a deep state of denial. That's their case right there.
Yeah, that's the whole case right there. That there were times between 2015 and 2019 he was in and out of rehab, he was on drugs, he wasn't drugs. At the time that he signed that form, he was under the belief that he was not a user of drugs. The prosecution is saying, look, all that other stuff, they are contending that he was on drugs at the time and lied in that form.
Okay. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, so does the thousands of other drug addicts that refuse to go to AA, but they don't get to use this as a defense.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see what the jury decides today.